Hey everybody, I have 8 o'clock Eastern Time. This is Bob Clark with Brian McDaniel. This is our Tuesday night training that we do every Tuesday. Kind of throw stuff around to help you guys out, things that we learn. And today we have, I don't know if I can think of any more adjectives for this lady, but the amazing, the wonderful, just what are you, Kathy? The queen, the king,
I'm
the
fabulous.
everything. Kathy Heath, she's fabulous. She knows it. I love it. Kathy Heath is with us today, special guest. And guys, today we want to talk to you about Facebook. Now, I don't know whether it's because of the supermoon or whatever that came up was a few days ago, but for the last week or so, I've especially been seeing a whole bunch of stuff on Facebook that just honestly makes me sick. Mm-hmm. And you know, people either don't know better, don't care. I'm not sure which it is, but we want to just talk about today not just the blatant stuff going on, because I think everybody knows that, but maybe some subtle things too that we've learned. We've been using Facebook attraction marketing for a long time, all three of us, and maybe just go through some stuff that we've learned that you may not even know that you're doing that could be hurting your image or hurting your brand, as it were. So I thought, guys, we're going to just hang out, be a little bit relaxed here, cutting it out. But I thought maybe what a good way to start would be just to talk about our biggest pet peeve. And since we have two guys and a lady here, I'm going to let the lady go first. So, Kathy Heath, what is your biggest pet peeve, Kathy Heath?
My biggest pet peeve on Facebook. Oh, gosh. Bob, you know me too well. There are too many of them.
I know.
I would think that the number one pet peeve that I have are the look at me posts. People who are running around, oh, look at me, I did this. Oh, look at me, I did that. Oh, look at me, and here's my check, and here's my status, and here's my team, and here's my this, and here's my that. And that absolutely drives me crazy for two reasons. Number one, I honestly don't think they realize how diminishing that appears. And they don't realize that they're doing that to themselves. They're actually not enhancing their image. They're diminishing their image. That's the primary. And the second thing is it's just flat out annoying. Mm-hmm. There are some groups on Facebook where one or two or a handful of people are constantly going, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. And it makes me crazy. Better that when something happens, you allow your teacher, your mentor, your colleagues to notice it, make mention of it, and then all of a sudden it goes ballistic. That happened to me last week when I hit number 1 on the leaderboard. First of all, I didn't even know that I had hit number 1 because I was busy doing something else. And my teacher, mentor, Diane Hockman, posted a screenshot and said, basically, look at Kathy, see what she did. And everybody went crazy. And I was left in the position of just saying, wow, guys, thanks. And it was sincere because I totally didn't know it was going on.
Yep.
But that's got to be my biggest pet peeve, Bob.
Yeah, and I was taught that as well by my coach Vanessa Duplessis when I first started making some headway here, and I think I made the mistake the first time of coming out and saying, hey, look what I did, and she kind of very gently just guided me and said, hey, it's much better if somebody else does that. And so now, if I do something, somebody might notice it. If they don't, I might go to Vanessa or Kathy or Brian and say, hey, just maybe you want to give me a shout out there so I can use that. We're not telling you guys not to highlight the things that you do and the things you accomplish, because you have to. You have to do that. But I think you can do it in a much more effective way if somebody else does it first, right, Kath?
Absolutely, and that's a real good point. All of us work with colleagues and friends, and if something happened that you're absolutely enthralled with, you get in touch with your friends, get in touch with your teachers, get in touch with your colleagues and say, hey, this just happened. Would you, acknowledge it so that, so it gets out, so that people know, what I'm able to do. And 9 times out of 10, your friend is not going to say, no, you stink. They're going to say, of course I'll help you out, and they'll do some kind of a lovely post about it, and then, people draw the attraction to you. It's about attracting the attention, not demanding it.
Absolutely. Yep, absolutely. Brian, what about you, man? What's your biggest pet peeve?
Well, I have to agree with Kathy. You know, that's one thing. It's always better when somebody else brings attention to you. But I would say my biggest pet peeve is when somebody joins their primary company or a new primary company, and they go from being a friend, somebody that I follow, somebody that I like because they're a marketer or because they fish and hunt like I do or whatever the case may be, and they go into being the XYZ company rep of the year. Every single post they put on is about how great their product is, how great their compensation is, how great their company is, and it's a constant stream. And let me just go ahead and tell you, that is a huge, huge turnoff to everybody. Absolutely everybody. People will start to ignore you. People will start to comment on your stuff. People will avoid you on Facebook and on the internet just like they will at Kroger or anywhere else that you go if they think you're going to pitch them your network marketing company. Guys, you know, we've all got great products. We've all got great companies. I'm a firm believer that my primary company is not my business. It is one of my income streams. I believe a lot of companies out there are good companies. I believe a lot of products out there are good companies, but it's a simple truth. People don't join companies. People join people. And you need to be a real person. You know, I hadn't talked to Bob in a couple years since me and him were in our last company together. And, you know, I noticed Bob. I paid attention to him on Facebook. And once I decided to get back into MLSP with the primary company that I'm with now, guess who I contacted? I contacted Bob because Bob is just there. He's being Bob. I know Bob. I got a connection with him, and I called him and said, hey, I'm fixing to join. Send me your affiliate link, you know. He didn't have to bombard me trying to say, hey, Brian, I just heard that you joined XYZ company. Have you ever thought about getting back in with MLSP? Bob was just himself, and he's somebody that I wanted to work with, and it's somebody that I was attracted to and made a psychological decision that that's who I was going to work with. So that's my biggest pet peeve, is turning into a salesperson that wants to pitch your company an opportunity. You know, build a business page for that. If you want to talk about all that all the time, build a page where people can expect that all the time, because you're not attracting anybody to you. If you continue to do that, you're literally pushing people away.
Yeah, that's great advice, Brian. And, you know, I think what people don't realize is when they do that, they blend in with everybody else, because that's what most people are doing out there. And it's the people who stay the course, who put out value regardless of what company they're with, what product they're affiliated with, whatever. People who just keep coming out there and teaching like we're doing tonight are the ones that are going to stand out in the end, because everybody else just blends in. Because they're all
Absolutely.
doing that stuff, you know. So, like Brian said, you know, build a page. If you're really excited about it, fantastic. We're all excited about our products. But build a page for it, and you know, leave that to one part, and then the other part, leave it for yourself. Brand yourself. Do some training. Teach others. Or I think that's where Kathy, you've excelled so much in doing that.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. All right, I'll give you mine, and it's a funny one. Actually, you both kind of took mine because those are two of my big pet peeves. But I would say my third one, and I know you guys will laugh when I say this, but it's when people are on Facebook and they're talking like in market language, marketese, or Diane Hockman says you turn into MLM man.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, and if people just knew how weird that sounds, and if one of the big things I learned, one of the big things that changed for me on Facebook is when I just started talking like I always talk. Instead of trying to impress people with my business exploding or taking everything to the next level, or you guys know the lingo. It's all out there.
Epic.
Epic. There you go.
That's the new one. Everything is epic.
You know, but Diane taught me early on. You know, just talk to people like you talk to somebody at the supermarket, or on the phone with one of your friends, and don't try to impress them, but just be yourself. And if people would just do that, your personality would come through. You start attracting who you were meant to attract, and things would be a lot easier for you. Right now, people are out there. They're trying to impress others. They're trying to make people believe that everything is perfect. it's really weird out there. The whole thing I find in this industry is really weird because people just aren't themselves, and I think it hurts them in the end. So that's the one that I see that when I see those kind of lingos, the exploding, the epic, taking things to the next level just drives me crazy. So,
Bob, I want to add something to that. You just brought something up, and I've heard Diane say it too before. Be yourself, attract the people that you're supposed to attract. You don't want to work with people you don't like and you don't get along with and you don't connect with. Why are you trying to bring them into your business? Attract the people that you want to attract. Be a real person, and don't try to make everything seem like it's perfect. Okay? Because nobody's business is perfect. Kathy, is your business perfect?
Oh, well, of course it is. No.
Exactly. Bob,
no, it's not.
Is your business perfect, Bob? It's a no. Nobody's business is perfect. Nobody's life is perfect.
My business is epic.
Yeah. But we all have struggles. We all have pitfalls. We all have failures on our way to more and more success. And when you're trying to brand yourself as the perfect marketer, the perfect MLM person, the perfect business owner, a lot of people, they're scared to be around you, if that makes sense. They don't feel like they've reached your level yet, so maybe they won't reach out to you. Maybe they're afraid that you don't want to connect with them because they've not reached a level that you've reached. I think it's a good thing to let people know that your business is not perfect. I think you connect with people more on a better level because now they know, hey, we're just alike. We both have struggles and we both have trials. So keep it real.
Yeah, absolutely. Brian, you made me think of something else when you were talking about that, and that's when people talk, or when they kind of spew out their negative stuff that's happening in their life. And that's a give and take. Some of that isn't bad. Like you said, it's being a real person, right? I mean, come out and say, oh, my kid's sick today, and I gotta do stuff around here, and I can't get the stuff that I'm gonna do. That's real. That's stuff that's happening. But the stuff I see a lot of people doing, and I don't know whether it's attention getting or what the deal is, but they'll start posting things about they're going through in their life, or things that are going bad for them in their business, and things just aren't working, and somebody lied to them, and this and that and the other thing. It's always somebody else's fault, right? And what I learned early on is, and I learned this from Diane again. I think we're highlighting Diane today, but we all in some way have worked with Diane Hochman and love the stuff that she teaches. But one thing Diane taught me really early was, don't highlight your problems, highlight the solutions to your problems. And I think that's huge because, for example, if you're having problems making a tool work that you just bought, an affiliate tool, let's say you just bought a tool, and you're having problems with it, and it's not working out for you, it's very tempting. Many people do it where they go online, they start bashing the company that sold it. This doesn't work. It's a piece of and these guys can't be trusted. Don't steer clear. And that's one way to do it. You'll get some people commenting on that for sure because people love misery, and they're looking for scams. So you're going to attract that kind of person if you want to. But I think if you come on and say, hey, I had trouble with this, but I Googled it and I figured it out, and this is how you do it, bam, now you're attractive. Now you're the solution provider. And that's a whole different conversation that you're having with somebody. You guys agree with that?
Absolutely, Bob. It puts you in a whole different light. It shows you as a problem solver instead of a complainer. That's huge. That's absolutely huge. And it's not just, I figured out how to use this tool. It's, XYZ is going on right now, and I had to get around it somehow, and this is what I did. I mean, is it last week, Friday, or the week before, I posted on Facebook and actually recorded a video, and the name of it is, I don't want to work today.
I saw that.
Because I didn't. I did not want to work that day. My brain was like on standby, stuff going on in my life, and it was like, oh, come on, but I had my zero-level marketing list that I needed to accomplish, and I was sitting there staring at it, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to record a video and tell these people that I don't want to work today, because everybody feels like that once in a while, and they need to know it's okay. to feel that. But this is what I did to push through it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Very true.
Yeah, and Bob, I agree. You talk about putting negative stuff out there. Do either one of y'all want to recruit a rep that can't do anything without you holding his hand? That never accomplishes anything, that, when you tell them to do something in their company, they try it one time and they're like, oh, this don't work. You don't want those people in your business. You want problem solvers in your business. You want people that are determined. You want people that are not going to take no for an answer. You want people that are not in misery, that don't let the little minute things of the world get them down. You want strong people in your business. So yeah, you're exactly right. Don't if you continually put negative stuff out, bash other people, bash other programs, that's exactly the people you're going to attract, and you're never going to build a strong business.
Absolutely. Kathy.
Yes, sir.
What do you think about people sending you unsolicited links?
Oh, I don't like those people.
First of all, what is an unsolicited link? Let's define that for people.
An unsolicited link is I'm glad. It's either I'm glad we're friends or I want to be friends. Here's my link. I have they do a message that's about this long and tell you all about a company that you're totally not interested in, and here's your link, and it's going to change your life. I want to tell those people, before you request my friendship, before you message me, and this goes out to everybody who's on this webinar too, think about this. Before you message or request friendship from somebody that you don't know yet, take a minute to read their profile, check out their about space, find out who they are, who they're connected to, what they're doing, and don't come on like, I'm going to rescue you from your troubles kind of stuff, because quite frankly, I don't need rescuing.
Yeah, I hear you. Yep. Yeah, and there's such a power, Kathy, to having somebody ask for a link.
Mm-hmm.
You have a conversation with somebody, and I do this all the time now, where I know where it's kind of heading, and I know what they're going to want, but I hold off, and I make them actually. Somebody's knocking on my door. I make them actually come out and say,
"They're coming to you, Bob."
See, guys, attraction marketing
happening already.
Either that or Rosemary's really mad at me. I'm not sure which it is. When you get somebody to ask you for a link, you have all the power, and it's just really, really a great attraction mechanism, right?
Not only that, Bob, it's a more valuable prospect or contact or lead or whatever label you want to put on it, because they're the ones that have come to you and said, I want your link. That's a whole lot more valuable than you throwing your link out there to just anybody and hoping that somebody's going to click on it.
Yeah, and sometimes that involves walking away for a while and starting a conversation again later, because it doesn't always happen right away, and you got to be ready for that. And then that's start another conversation with somebody else. It works.
I had a gentleman, excuse me, I'm sorry, Brian.
Oh, go right ahead.
I had a gentleman join my team in my primary network marketing company just 3-4 weeks ago. I've known him on Facebook for probably 4 years. We've always just been friends. We've always kind of helped each other out. We each have our areas of expertise, and he just messaged me and said, Kathy, I've been looking at your company and I've decided I want to get back into network marketing. Would you please send me your link? Now he is a very productive member of my network marketing downline. So, it happens if you just take the time to be yourself and have relationships with people. Yep.
Absolutely. Brian, you got any more?
Yeah, I think that's really what it comes down to. Don't get in a hurry. Not everybody wants to be in network marketing. Not everybody has what it takes to own a business and work for themselves. Not everybody has that dedication. And one thing, Kathy, when I get these links, and I know we get them every single day, if not every single week, some of these people are just blatantly rude and just drop a link in. I mean, I just delete them, throw them in the spam box or whatever. But you all have watched some of the MLSP trainings, and that's a good time to really start a conversation with that person. and reach out and help them to understand what attraction marketing really is, and let them know, like I think it's Bill Pescalito says, ask them, how's this working for you?
Exactly.
How many people have you recruited? Get a conversation started with them, and there may not be anything come from that day, but you can just about guarantee that person's going to watch you. They're going to want to know what you're doing, because what they're doing, they're going to find out in a couple of months it's not going to work.
Yep, absolutely. One of the more subtle things I think that people might be doing in the name of efficiency, that might be messing them up and hurting their reputation, their brand, if you will, is people who post automatically to many groups. Now, I think I posted this yesterday. I saw an ad for a post for a training, and this person was very proud that they were going to teach people how to post to 1,600 Facebook groups at one time. And I just kind of gulped and shook my head and hoped that nobody went to that training. But, there's all kinds of automated things out there, tools, things that they say you can use for now. First of all, I think it's a great way to get kicked off Facebook.
Absolutely.
Facebook will adapt to it, and you'll be gone faster than you know. But if you do choose to do it, I don't think any of us here recommend it, but please, when you're in a group, when you join a group, understand the rules of that group. Kathy, you're a moderator of many of these groups, and it must drive you crazy because there are groups that are just for mastermind, and that's all it is, and it says it even right in their Facebook cover. No links, no blog posts, whatever, and just people do it, and then you find out that you're on their automated list to send out their posts.
Yeah, we used to take the time to warn people about it. If you're automating your posts, make sure our group is not on your list. Now it's sorry, zero tolerance. Once and you're gone.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah.
We don't have time for that.
Yeah, and I think what people don't understand too is even if you do it manually. If I went on Facebook and I posted something, and like an ad for this training or something, update about this training. If I went then and right away shared this with 6 or 7 groups that I'm in, even if it's legitimate and it looks good, first of all, Facebook now has these algorithms. They might flag you. They might warn you about posting too many groups. But the other thing is in your timeline, it shows up so that it looks like you're just spamming people right down the line. It has your same message 7 times for 7 different groups. And it hurts your image, I think.
Definitely.
Yeah, I saw that this morning, as a matter of fact, Bob. First thing when I get out of bed in the morning, it's 45 minutes on Facebook, Google+, social media. I try to get some of that stuff out of the way, meet my people, do the things that I want to do, and then try to move on to something else. This morning I picked up my phone, went to Facebook, and I bet I scrolled about 7 times, just with a flick of a finger, and I saw 2 posts where somebody had done that, where they had posted it in a bunch of groups. And of course, there's a little button up at the top that says hide or report as spam. I did that because I don't want my wall lit up with it. So
yeah, and I don't think a lot of people even realize that that's happening. Because until somebody tells you about it, you may not realize it. And so if you're doing that, just be careful. Limit the number of groups you're doing it to. Make sure those groups accept it, and limit it, because otherwise it's going to look like you're spamming all of Facebook, and people will catch up onto that, and you get labeled really quick. We're almost out of time. One more, and I got to know your guys' opinion on this. I know I have mine, but I don't know what your opinion is of it, so I want to know. Commission checks flashing. Pictures of emails with commissions on it. What's your take, Brian?
Okay, here's my take. If you're flashing your check, you are trying to draw attention to yourself. And just because you have a fat check this week, don't mean you're going to make anything for the next 3 weeks. You don't really know. Now, once you've got enough content out there and enough marketing out there, you can pretty well determine you're going to make some pretty good checks every week. But most of the people that post their checks are not making a whole lot of money. They've made a little bit of money, and they're like, wow, and they're trying to attract people in because they've made this money. But again, it's not really attraction. Take that money and go buy your wife a mink coat and put that on Facebook. People will know that you have money if you do something like that without you flashing your check, you know, and it, to me, very unappealing. You know, hey, you know, I'm tickled to death that they made some money. Don't get me wrong, but it's not attractive by any. You know, you wouldn't go to Kroger tomorrow and walk up to somebody and say, "Hey, guess how much I make a year?" You know, they don't care. They don't know, especially when you're making more money than they are. I mean, that just kind of really turns them off. You know, they they don't like that. So, but that's my opinion on it. You know, it's not a good thing. I don't like it. I think people are definitely giving themselves a bad image on it. And, you know, you said something on Facebook the other day. It's the people in the background that are working, that are not bringing attention to themselves, that are not, you know, self-promoting themselves, if you will, that are the ones that are going to make it happen, not the ones that are out there showing you every time they, you know, there's an old saying where I come from, Kathy, down here in the hills of Tennessee, that a blind hog will find an acorn every now and again. And a lot of times that's when people put that up, and you know, but it's just very unattractive to me.
Absolutely.
It comes full circle, right, Kath? Because it's coming back to me.
It comes back to me. And you know, to add to what Brian just said, I read an article just today. It's an attorney's blog. It's not like a network marketer's blog or an MLM company's blog. And this particular legal firm is very heavily into representing network marketing companies, you know, network marketing industry, all of that. And one of the things they said on their blog today is, ever since January, when the FTC came down on Fortune High Tech, their magnifying glass is on social media, and they're flagging things like representatives posting checks. They're flagging things like representatives saying, you know, come with us and you can make, you know, 10K in the first month, and that kind of thing. And what's happening is those kinds of activity not only make you look like a moron, excuse my language, but you're risking your primary company because they could be shut down because you're doing that stupid stuff. So stop it.
Yeah, absolutely, Kathy. And you know, that's one thing we want everybody here. We want people to be safe. We don't want to see you hauled off on handcuffs or anything like that. So if you're going to do it, it's at your own risk. I don't think anybody here likes that tactic. It certainly doesn't impress me at all. I mean, I just ask people who want to do it. I'll just ask them one question. You know, do you ever see the people who are making serious money really do that? And you don't. You know, the people who are making the big money, sometimes other people will flash their checks for them. I don't understand that. I mean, why would you flash somebody else's check? That makes no sense to me. But I see that too. I see all kinds of weird stuff. But
I'm going to have to start asking Diane for photocopies.
Yeah. I mean, you know, but then you're just kind of getting people to hurry. You know, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. But you know, we want everybody to be safe out there. The FTC is cracking down, and we don't want to see anybody get in a bad way that way. So.
And we want our companies to continue. We don't want them shut down. So
exactly.
You know, if you love your company, you won't do it because you don't want to risk them being shut down.
Kathy, I got a couple more minutes here. I'm going to screen share and put up a couple things. Maybe you can just tell people what's happening tomorrow night. That you know, we scratched the surface here today. We've only talked about a very few things about attraction marketing. There's something going on tomorrow that I think will continue this conversation to a whole another level. If you'll excuse the kind of the flashy, you know, MLM talk again. Kathy, what's going on tomorrow night?
There's going to be an epic webinar training. No, seriously, guys. My very dear friend and mentor of many, many years is finally coming out, and she's going to start teaching the stuff that she teaches us behind the scenes. And tomorrow night, the MLSP Wednesday webinar, she is going to be doing a training which is free for anybody who wants to attend, and I guess there's over 1,500 people registered already for this training, on what attraction marketing really is, what it is, what it isn't. She's going to take care of all of that confusion, all of that misunderstanding, all of that outright falsehood that's out there about attraction marketing and how it can actually help your business. Um, Myself, if I might just tell a really quick story. When I met Diane, I was broke, I was confused. I had just brought my business online about a year prior to meeting her, and I was a link spammer. I spammed my links all over wherever I possibly could because that's what I was told to do. So, I didn't know any better, but Diane taught me the principles of attraction marketing, and in the time that I've known her, I've gone from being totally clueless and broke to topping leaderboards to being featured regularly in one of the industry's largest publications to having a huge following and, yes, making some really good money. But the bottom line is to living the lifestyle that I always wanted to live. And it's because of the principles of attraction marketing that Diane taught me. And tomorrow night, she's going to teach them in public for free.
Absolutely, and I can't wait for that.
Oh, I'm
And
excited.
guys, we want you here all to attend that webinar if at all possible. If you're in MLSP, you can do it through your back office. Whoever is your sponsor, go through the back office, register with them. If one of us invited you here today, I've posted up here our separate MLSP links that you can use for myself, Brian, and Kathy. So whoever invited you here, use that appropriate link to register for the webinar so we know that we brought you guys in and we can keep track of you that way. It's basically the same format. It's http:// then our username .mlsp.com/webinar-registration. So I'll leave that up for a minute while I'm talking, but this is going to be, basically what Diane's doing is taking us back to the fundamentals. And there are a whole lot of people who, they bought the Magnetic Sponsor ebook and they kind of thought, okay, now I'm all set. They watched the free videos and now they're all set to go on attraction marketing. And as we've shown you today, there's a whole lot more people doing it wrong, if you will, if you want to say wrong versus right, but they're not doing it the way it was intended to be done. And the people who have followed through and doing that, those guys are rich, right? I mean, they're if they've really followed through doing attraction marketing the way it's supposed to be, they're doing fine for themselves. So Diane wants to take everybody back to the beginning to lay the fundamentals, lay that foundation, because we want you to have a strong foundation going forward, and kind of do a mid-course correction. If you've been doing this for a while, maybe you're not doing so well. Let's do a mid-course correction. Let's go back to the fundamentals. Let's be sure that you guys understand attraction marketing and how to attract people to you, because it's the foundation for everything if you want to do attraction marketing. And that's what's going to happen tomorrow night. It's going to be a jam-packed webinar. Like Kathy said, how many people, Kathy, are signed up already?
Well, last I heard was a couple of hours ago, and at that time there were already over 1,500 people registered for this free training tomorrow night. So it's going to be exciting. I'm just hoping we don't crash the servers, but Diane's going to be there, so you never know.
Yeah, the digital dim back, right?
You betcha, you betcha. And that's another point, Bob. You know, I've been working with Diane for over 5 years, and she honestly, truly, guys, look into my eyeballs. She really, truly is a digital dingbat. She gets so frustrated and flustered, and she can't really operate her own computer half the time. But look at where she is. Look at the money the lady has made. Look at what she's accomplished, and
oh, there he is.
I don't know. That scared me. That just jumped off. That scared me.
I'm glad you wasn't here to hear what I said. But
right when
Well,
Kathy's
that's-
talking about being a digital dim back, look what I did. I crashed the thing.
That's exactly what Brian said, Bob.
yeah,
I'll
bad,
see the
bad
recording,
karma.
Brian. I'll see the recording.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But you know, we had a few people fall off when you fell off as well. I think it might have quit broadcasting to them, so
I
they may.
think everybody fell off. It looks like to me. I don't
Yeah,
see anybody
they
here.
may come back on here.
Well, I think we're pretty much done anyway. So, you know, let's finish up the recording basically tomorrow night. Big webinar. If you're watching this before that, get on it if you can. If you're watching this recording afterwards, get with one of us. We'll clue you in on what happened, and you know, we'll kind of help you lead the way there and try to figure out what's wrong with your path. Right, guys?
Absolutely. You know, the big thing that I just want to leave everybody with, especially on the recording, is this is attraction marketing. It's not going to happen overnight. Don't expect it to happen overnight. You know, it took my wife a few years to get me to give her a ring, to attract me into that relationship and to do things. And it's going to take you a minute. So get on Diane's webinar. If you don't do anything else this year training-wise, get on this webinar, learn the fundamentals, and be patient. Be yourself. Attract the people you want to work with, and it'll definitely happen for you.
Good advice.
Absolutely.
Kath?
I couldn't have said it any better. That's absolutely perfect, Brian, because attraction marketing is dating.
Absolutely.
It's dating, you know. That's why you don't post links right away, because you don't stick your tongue down somebody's throat on the first date, do you? And if you do, you're going to be in trouble.
Absolutely, yeah.
But yeah, if you think of it like dating and approach it that way, and you have that patience and you develop the relationship and you just allow it to happen,
Mm-hmm.
if you're consistent, hear that, if you're consistent, 30, 45 days down the road, you're going to start seeing some action. By 90 days, you're going to be in momentum. And if you keep going, the momentum's just going to go faster and faster and faster. So be patient, let it work, and it'll work for you.
Yeah, and the only thing I can add to that, both of you guys said it so well. The only thing I can add is don't let technology stop you. I mean, I just crashed a whole damn webinar, and you know, we survived it. We'll laugh about it, and if you're gonna go to Diane's thing tomorrow, just don't tell them what you'll find. So,
Yeah.
guys, it's been fantastic. I've really enjoyed it. I'm sure the people who used to be here really enjoyed it. People in recording are gonna love this. So, thanks so much for coming out tonight.
Sounds good. Thanks,
Can
y'all.
I come back sometime?
We're gonna have you again, Kathy. You're wonderful.
Absolutely.
Thank you. I enjoyed it. Good
Enjoyed
night,
it.
guys.
Good night,
All right, good
everybody.
night.
Take care. See you next week. Bye bye.
All right, bye-bye.